lion's share. It's the lion's share. It's the lion's share. It's the lion's share.
Welcome back. Welcome into the Lion's Share. A day late and a dollar short, as they always say. It's Talk Through Thursday. This Walkthrough Wednesday remix to Thursday edition ahead of Week 10 in the NFL. Keeping you on your toes here, shareholders. And we are ready to be hurt again. Well, okay, maybe it's not that deep. The Lions still 5-3. It's not the world's not over, but we are ready for Lions football once again. I think everybody's ready to see something fresh after that stinky performance against the Vikings. Lions off of a sloppy loss, like we mentioned, up against a team that knocked them out of the playoffs last season. So this should be interesting, though the Commanders are very, very beat up. But so are the Lions, truthfully. Andrew, welcome back, sir. Good to have you here. Man, I did not expect the internet folks to come out in such droves. They got me out here wanting to defend Johnny Mo at this point.
Why? What did I miss?
What did you miss? You missed everything. Every comment section on anything Lions related, especially about the offense, they want Johnny Mo fired, and they want him fired yesterday.
Yeah, well, like we said, he's the full 1920s bathing suit. It's not pretty. Is a lot of it game flow? Yeah, probably. So you can't pull it yet, but at some point, rather soon, if we have a few more of these showings, especially from what should be a high-powered offense, Dan's got to maybe take the Anthony Lynn approach here.
A lot of people comparing it to that. Did you hear the press conference with Johnny Mo the last 2 days? Have you seen anything from that?
I haven't tuned into that.
People saying Johnny Mo's not doing himself any favors because he's basically not taking accountability for this is what the surmise is. And and honestly, Calvin Shepard also, he's in a much better position, of course, but we'll get to it in a minute. He was calling out TA on the run game. So these guys are kind of calling their guys out like, hey, we need more from you. It's not just on us, the coordinators. It's also from the players between the lines.
Well, that's who goes out there, straps it up, gets it done. But I don't know. Johnny Mo's had some ugly showings, and like I said, I feel like a lot of it is game flow, but at some point you got to have some play calls to get some energy going, right? Like you got to be able to create some of your own momentum, what we talk about all the time.
Yeah, he is all that, and honestly, he kind of maybe is the Aaron Glenn of offensive coordinators in the way that we were always so frustrated when any teams came in to play the Lions. Aaron Glenn just couldn't adjust, right? That was where he struggled. If the team came out with a game plan that they weren't ready for, there wasn't going to be a lot of adjustments at halftime or any time. So I feel like that's kind of what Johnny Mo gets stuck in things, and maybe it's an overthinking situation for Johnny Mo. I don't know. I do know, though, I think you got to give him more time. But, like we said, he's got the keys to a sports car. And he inherited a great offense. He didn't have a lot of things to do other than just be serviceable and not make a lot of mistakes. So, kind of need that serviceable role from him. We'll see what we get. Do you feel like this game against the Commanders is a good opportunity to bounce back? I guess a two-part question. You think it's a good opportunity to bounce back? And two, if the Lions do put up 30, 40 points of offense this week, do you think that puts this to bed for at least a couple weeks?
Well, I think the chances for get right got a lot better when Jaden Daniels' elbow went the wrong way. That was a good boost in the right direction. You don't root for injuries, but you hate to see it happen. Dan Campbell doesn't really lose 2 games in a row, so you feel like the bounce back is coming here, and it feels like when they bounce back in a big way. So I don't think that those talks go away. Because I feel like they just, put the throttle on for one game, and then it's like you start easing off the throttle for 3 or 4 games, and then we have our slap in the face moments. So I think if you go through another one of those spurts, then it starts.
It's the reset, right? And Dan used to always say, I didn't have the guys ready. Didn't say that this week. Didn't say this time around. It was not the same MO. But you're right, this team, whatever it is about it, can look so strong and so weak. There's a lot of extremes, the spectrum that the Lions live on. And we'll talk through all of that. We'll talk through all of it. But I think you're right. It's a good opportunity with Jaden Daniels out, Marcus Mariota stepping in, a lot of other injuries for the Commanders, and we thought they were going to be without Frankie Louvu, suspended for the hip drop tackles. Well, he won his appeal, so he's going to be back in this one. And who could forget last year when the Commanders beat the Lions, Jared Goff threw that interception, and Frankie blew him up. Now, you're not supposed to hit a quarterback. No flag was thrown, but that game was already over, and it was bad. So not much to it, but an illegal hit at that. So was kind of hopeful that he wasn't going to suit up in this one. That does concern me, but I think the Lions are happy to have an opportunity to get revenge on a team that knocked them out of the playoffs. So we'll get you ready for Lions Commanders, talk about the state of the NFL, including Antonio Brown in the news once again. Fire down chips, I guess. Not good for the CMU brand. Shout out to Andrew, who's repping the maroon and gold right now. You can watch every episode of this here podcast on YouTube, but also on Spotify video. Shout out to the video watchers out there. You know who you are. We appreciate you, and we appreciate those that tune in on the audio format as well. You can listen on Spotify and Apple, as well as Amazon and wherever you find your podcasts. So we appreciate you being here, shareholders. If you are listening or watching, click like, subscribe, comment, all those good things. Rate us 5 stars, and don't forget to find us on TikTok and Instagram as well. Let's talk Lions. Before we talk about the matchup, let's talk about things that have happened this week. Miles Frazier, thank goodness, some backup opportunities coming to this offensive line that is banged up right now. Miles Frazier, the rookie out of LSU, practicing, and his 21-day window is open. So a couple more weeks and we could have Miles Frazier back on this. But Dan is saying he may come out like a baby deer. So give him some time. He's going to have some time to ramp up. Also, a name we haven't heard in a while, Paschal, Josh Paschal, back at practice, and his window, the 21-day window, also open. DJ Reed, eligible for the 21-day window, but not opened yet. So could be a couple more weeks. Could be maybe Thanksgiving for old DJ Reed. So offensive line, with the opportunity to record this a day later than we normally do, we have a little bit more information. Not sure how much you've seen, Andrew, but sounds like today, I guess the positive, we'll start with that. The positive is Taylor Decker, not too banged up. Says the knee injury that he sustained, not a big deal. Obviously still dealing with the shoulder as well, because that's just kind of always going on. But sounds like we might have at least one of the tackles this week.
Sounds great. What, has there been any news on Panay? It feels like he's going to be playing.
Feels like he is, and I think they're probably playing it by ear. They know the situation with the Commanders' injuries. They know they're banged up, so they don't want to put any guys out there and put them in danger. Perhaps if Tekker's going to play, maybe Sewell doesn't play, but I think you're going to have both the tackles this week. And at a point where just a couple days ago you thought maybe you weren't going to have either one of them. So I think we'll at least get one of the tackles, whether it's Panay or Taylor. Probably looks like Taylor's for sure the closer one at this point, but I think we could have an opportunity to see both of them.
Is Skip all right? I feel like I saw him on an injury report this week as well.
He was also on the injury report, but I believe, and don't quote me on this, I believe he was back at practice today. They gave a lot of guys practice or a lot of guys rest on Wednesday, so more guys at practice today.
Okay, that's at least a step in the right direction there. I'm still confused with the Glasgow moving around though.
So a lot of people suggesting this because Glasgow really has struggled at the center position, which is not his ideal position. His ideal position is guard, right? But he was asked to play center with Frank Ragnow retiring. They tried out Tate Ratledge early on in training camp. that didn't seem like it was going to be the fit. They quickly went to Glasgow and never looked back. So, and the way Ratledge is performing at his position, probably don't move him to center at this point. So that's leading people to believe that you could have a backup center and then move Glasgow back to guard with the banged up offensive line with Mahogany out.
That is a possibility, I suppose. Did we hear how long Mahogany is going to be out for? All of November at a minimum, right? I feel like
I
Dan said something in a press conference that I'm not remembering.
I don't recall. I don't recall what the Mahogany news was, but I believe it's not long term. No, but I think you're right. All of November, at least 4 weeks, right? Did they put him on IR?
That's what I can't remember, but I feel like Dan started his press conference off when they asked about guys. He said that one wasn't great. Notice he'll be. I feel like he said for sure all of November, and we'll see how long after that. I feel like it was his first press conference of the week.
Yeah, too many injuries to to remember. They did put him on because he's not on the injury report. They did put him on IR, so it's a minimum of 4 games. I think you're right. I think it's a little longer term than we're expecting, because there was a significant injury there with Mahogs. But let's see. Dan Skipper dealing with a back to answer your question. So
That's a lot of back.
So back at practice, though, today, the only guys that didn't practice, Kirby Joseph, Pat O'Connor, and Jacob Sailors. The rest were full or limited participants, including Miles Frazier, Taylor Decker, Paschal, Reynolds, Malcolm Rodrigo, continuing his ramp as he gets closer to that Eagles game when he's targeting, Penei Sewell, Dan Skipper, Stewart, Terrion Arnold, Summers, and Thomas, all full practicers. So,
wow, thanks, Stewart. Thanks for showing up, buddy.
And he's got the flow to show it off, too, doesn't he?
He certainly does. Man, are we going to see Kirby Joe out for another week here?
Yes. I believe that is not confirmed, but it sounds like they're going to be real careful with old Kirby Joe. So, yeah, don't expect any INTs from him this week.
Boo.
So, speaking on the offensive line, before we talk more about other positions, so if we assume that Decker's going to play at the left tackle, if Penei doesn't start, I guess you go Dan Skipper on the other side. At the guards, Sheik, that's who Dan said is next man up at the left guard and potentially right guard, but I think he's going to be there at left guard. And Ratledge would stay at right guard. And then Glasgow at center, but you could also have Glasgow go to left guard. Sheik is the backup there, and then maybe Tristan Colin, or there's one other name. I think Michael Neese, something like that.
Yeah, Neese. That's it.
But he'd have to be elevated. He's not on the active roster. He's a practice squad guy. So that would be your clue here tomorrow when we get game designations. That'll be your clue. Game designations are really going to fill the gaps on what they're thinking here. But if they have Decker and Sewell to anchor down the tackles, it's a combination of either Sheik, Glasgow, and Ratledge, or probably Glasgow, Ratledge, and Colin. And they also signed another offensive lineman for some depth this week. No big news though. No big trade deadlines for the Lions. That was kind of what you expected though, right, Andrew?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else you would see from that. It's nice to see, some of those longer early season guys kind of bring it back, and feel like there's a little light at the end of the tunnel on that one. I'm pausing here. I feel like I might have some movement outside the studios.
Do you need me to entertain the shareholders here for a moment?
I think a delivery might be getting swung by here.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna mute up. Yep. Do your thing. Do whatever you need to do over there in the studio. He's literally in a studio, by the way, folks. Oh my God, the bag is secured. That's not a biggie bag from Wendy's, but that is a big bag, my friend. That is a thing of beauty. I'll let you do the explanation on what that is. I don't want to steal your thunder on that one, but my goodness, folks getting a treat, yourself getting a treat. That looks like it tastes really good. Please hold, shareholders. He's getting back in position.
Oh, that's some thick cut jerky. Had like a little Asian zing on it.
Ooh.
A little bit of heat on the background of it, though. I think there might be a couple chili peppers I'm seeing.
Little chili
Maybe a
flake,
little,
little chili pepper action.
maybe even a little chili oil.
Ooh. Well, did you bring enough to share with the class?
There could be 100 pounds of jerky, and there wouldn't be enough to share.
Trouble. Well, it looks great. And viewers that are watching the video format getting a treat right now. Boy, where were we? No big moves in the free agent or words. They're hard. Trade deadline period. No surprise, though, really big for the Lions. That's kind of been their MO. Build to the draft. Not big on the trades. Couple free agents here or there, but not big on the trades. So, man, that's kind of the Lions injury report. The Commanders are really banged up. Obviously, they'll be without Jaden Daniels and many others on both sides of the ball. So watch for that. What else, Mr. Founder of Conspiracy? Before we get into predictions,
Were you surprised they didn't make any moves?
no, not really. I thought maybe with the state of the offensive line and the way Dan was hinting at potentially doing something on Monday, he's usually pretty much like he puts it to bed, no type of guy. But he kind of teased it a little bit on Monday. So there was a thought on Monday that maybe an offensive lineman out there. It's just you don't really see a lot of offensive linemen get traded at the deadline.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you know, and so it might be a question you don't know, do you know if any offensive linemen were traded?
The big one was the Saints offensive lineman. Sorry, buddy, don't know your name, but the Saints dumped an offensive lineman to the Chargers who, have had their injuries as well. Joe Alt's missed a lot of games, but also some others, I think, on that offensive line have been in and out of the lineup. So they got a little insurance, potential starting position there at I believe he was a guard. He may have been a tackle. I'm not sure.
Jeez, you don't know his name. You don't know his position. You buddied him. I
did buddy him.
I hope he doesn't hear this.
I hope not, but, with the shareholders coming out in droves, you never know. But, yeah, so to answer your question, there was one move in the offensive line position, and could have been the Lions. Could have been. But
Could have been us.
But they did get a couple guys from practice squads, their usual MO. So we'll see. Yeah, but other than that, no surprises. I know there was some talk about them getting a cornerback or potentially getting an edge. I thought that was super low percentage, maybe like 10% or less. So not surprising. But I am curious to see what this offensive line looks like starting wise this week.
Yeah, it feels like we've really got the Band-Aids out now, and we got some leaky pipes.
It's getting to that point. Week 10 in the NFL, past the bye week, home stretch now. Yeah, got to lock in. You want to start us off with your pick this week?
Yeah. I'll give you the prediction this week. Well, we got Lions, of course, on top here again. I think it's going to be a little bit of lower numbers than what people are thinking. I think, everybody's expecting the offense to get back into high gear. I think the offense continues to struggle. But thanks to the defense, I'm predicting 3 takeaways. Count them. 3 this week, folks, for the D. I think the defense gets them some takeaways. They get themselves into position, but they end up settling for some field goals here. I don't think they find the end zone a whole heck of a lot here in this game. And I think the magnifying glass is going to get a lot bigger on old Johnny Mo. Jomo, as we say.
All right, yeah, Jomo. So you're predicting a win here, but it's not going to quiet the haters of Johnny Mo. He's still going to be on the hot seat, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
All right. What's that?
Nope. Yeah, continue.
All right. We'll continue. It probably came through on the broadcast, but probably not to my ears. So we'll see what happens when I listen back to this. I love what you said about the turnovers. They need to step it up. They're down to 1.5 a game. They were up at 1.8 a game at one point, and that would have kept us close. We need 20 more for our big counter, Andrew. So with the home stretch here in Week 10, going to need about 2, maybe 3 a game. And so I love that you said 3 here. That would get them back on track down to 17. What I'd love to see, not only in the turnovers, I'd love to see some points off turnovers. And I think you're right. And my score's not going to reflect that. I think you're right. I went 35-14, but I do think there's going to be a struggle for points, maybe early. And I'm thinking these points come later. These 35 points come a little later. A couple scores in the first half. Maybe they're sitting at about 14 at halftime. And I think they get finally they get some groove in the second half and get up to 35. But maybe that's just me being optimistic and hoping and manifesting that they get above 30 and get some more points. But I'd love to see points off turnovers. That has been a struggle all year. I know you've been harping them on this. Just get the monkey off the back. You need to get points off turnovers, and I'm prepared, Andrew. I am prepared to put the must-win stamp on this game.
What's your stamp look like?
It's got ink. It's got a face of a lion, roaring lion, I might add, and flowing in the wind.
The word win in its jaw.
Yep, it's biting a W, a la Jameis Winston, which I thought might trigger the dog. That's his name.
You imagine we had him as a backup?
Hey, he's out there, right? He's still available. Is he QB2 now?
I don't know what Russ is, so Russ did come in when Dart went out.
Yeah, but I don't know if Dart goes out again. I don't know if that's going to happen this time around.
Maybe it depends on how many plays he's going to be out for.
True. Better not get any blue 10 violations like they did the last time. Him and Scatabo. Well, yeah, the must-win stamp. We need a sound effect, Tommy, for the must-win stamp. I'm putting it on here because I don't think you can afford to be 5-4 in the NFC. The NFC is so strong right now. The Seahawks, hot. The 49ers, pretty hot. Rams, really hot. Eagles, who knows with the Eagles? Still really good. They're going to be a playoff team, and they're going to fight for that 1 seed. Packers, I'm not going to say they're a great team. I wouldn't necessarily include them on this list, but the Packers. The Tampa Bay Bucks, coming off of a bye week this week with a big matchup against the Patriots. The Lions, of course, don't count out teams like, I don't know, the Cowboys, because they've made a bunch of moves. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but they're probably a fringe team. The Bears, maybe a fringe team. The Vikings, maybe a fringe team. My point being, you can't fall to 5-4. 4 losses at this point in the season is going to be tough, especially with the Eagles coming to town next week. So you got to be ready. Or actually, I think the Lions go to Philly in that one. Double away games here with the East Coast. But yeah, must-win stamp on this game for sure for me.
Absolutely. Can't lose those 2 in a row like we were talking about. And as soon as you said 5-4, it's kind of when reality set in. It's like, oh, geez, you lose this game, you got to go to 5-4. I think that's the key, man. You just got to keep separating yourself from get away as far away from 500 as humanly possible, right?
Absolutely, because you got the Eagles, a really tough opponent coming in next week, and you don't want to be 5-4 going into a matchup with the Eagles. Just can't have it. Two big NFC matchups too in these 2 games here. Of course, the Vikings lost last week against an NFC team. You're going to lose your tiebreaker opportunities if you don't win out here against the NFC. So important for all those reasons, and for the NFC being so strong. Speaking of which, Lions Commanders, keeping you informed segment for Week 10. Lions Commanders 4:25 on Fox. In this one is not going to be Tom Brady and Burkhardt. This was originally a Burkhardt-Brady. However, 49ers Rams has a bigger pull. It's a better matchup. So they're going to go to the West Coast. And we'll get Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma. So not the greatest crew Probably going to get some Dion Branch for Brian Branch. You just kind of know what's going to happen at this point with Vilma, and probably some other things that we're just not ready for. So it's not the best crew, but it is who we have. Lions coming in at 9.5-point favorites, over under 48.5. The weather looks like we're going to have 60 degrees in that range, cooling as the game goes on, potentially down into the upper 50s. Sounds like we're going to have showers in the morning for sure here in Landover, Maryland. But by the afternoon, we could have partly cloudy skies or maybe some showers, some spotty showers. Certainly not a rain fest. It's not going to be raining the whole game, but there could be some pop-up showers in that one. So watch for it. Winds going to die down. Windy in the morning, windy at night, going to die down at game time. Could get winds up to 15 miles per hour by the end of the game. So watch for that. In field goals later in the game. Man, do you want to do pre-bams? Do you want to put somebody on notice on who you think's going to step up? I feel like every time we do this, it doesn't work out.
It doesn't, but we should try it one last time just to be sure. You go first.
Okay, putting me on the hot seat here, putting me on notice. Pre-bams. I think the run game is going to eat. I've been saying this for a while. I think the run game is going to be back to basics. And gosh, do we ever need it? So I think we're going to get a big day from the backs. I'm not going to go with either one of them, though. I will go with a defensive player here. I think, I think we've been waiting for it, right? I think we get a nice mix of defensive line contributions this week. We get a lot of sacks on Mariota. And I think Hutch is going to be the biggest beneficiary of it, but I think everybody on the defensive line needs. I think we're going to have a defensive line BAMS player this week. Could just be Hutch.
Are you taking the whole defensive line?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my God, guy! This is where we need Mitch. We need a ruling on this one. That's crazy. Oh man. Well, if we're taking, I'll take the offense in that case. I'm gonna give my. Even though I just called for him to not have a day, to spite myself and really just hope for good fortune, I'm gonna give my pre-bams to none other than one Jared Goff. I think he's going to have one of his classic stat lines, but a lot of short passes, not much deep, maybe one or two to JMO to start the game. And just a classic day from Goff, and he might go under the radar, but he's going to get the job done.
I like that. I like the JMO connection as well that you put in there. I think that's got a good opportunity to hit, and I think it's hilarious, like you said, that you called for the offense to be slow, and then you pick the offense, and you also pick the defense to get 3 turnovers. So, but yet did not nominate a defensive player.
Well, I thought you were going to take the secondary too on me, so
I thought maybe
sure.
you were going to go TA.
Oh man! After he gets one, he just cycles off 3 more.
Well, I got called out by Calvin Shepard this week for him not showing up on run defense. He's made a lot of strides in the passing game. He's had some really solid numbers. Passing rating is some of the best in the league, the opposing passing rating that he's putting up. But against the run, he's not good. So Calvin Shepard called him out. So watch for that this week against the run. See if TA is trying to make some plays there on defense.
Just gotta learn and get better.
Yep. So that's your pre-bams, and honestly, I hope for some rain. Give me rain, because the Lions play better in the rain. They are a weather warrior and a road warrior. They play better on the road and in the weather.
Yeah, that was the issue. We were at home
last year, perfect on the road. This, they had their 2 losses at home last season. So, hey, road warriors, they embrace it.
And this year,
what are the Lions?
They've lost 2 road games.
Lost 2 road games. Yeah, Kansas City and Green Bay, and then the one at home to the Vikings. Yeah, life comes at you fast.
Sure does.
Speaking of life coming at you fast, trade deadline news in the NFL. Cowboys, with an all-time loss to the Cardinals on Monday night. Jerry Jones had teased that they got a defensive player, and that it would be announced the following day after the game. It was Logan Wilson from the Bengals, linebacker, pretty solid guy. And then they get Quinnen Williams from the Jets, and then the Jets decide to also unload Sauce Gardner to the Colts, and boom, the Jets are in full rebuild mode, and they have a boatload of picks over the next couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know who went first for the Jets, whether it was Gardner or Williams. I just remember seeing one going, oh man, that's crazy. 15, 20 minutes later, the other one comes in like, man, the Jets are putting in work today.
Yeah, one goes down, the other goes down shortly after. Um, what do you think that means for the Colts with Sauce Gardner? Like, Colts already a really strong team, had a tough showing against the Steelers, fallen on a lot of power rankings after that loss, but still, I mean, right up there, right? And now elevated with a CB1, right?
Yeah, it's kind of disheartening, but when it's your number to call, when you get called to play them, you got a game plan for them. I think they're still a beatable team. Don't get me wrong. I think once you get there, like once they get hot, they're rolling. But I think it's the same way. If they don't get going early, they're take longer to get the engine moving.
Yep. And they all start with the run game, similar to the Lions. If the run game's not working, if Jonathan Taylor's not working, and they get behind the sticks, it's not good for them. They are a rhythm-based offense in one of the least, one of the teams in the NFL with the least punt attempts. And it was by a wide margin a couple weeks ago. It's come down back, water finds its level type of situation, but still really good, just marching down the field. That's what they do. And like you said, if that train's not moving forward, it's not good. So similar to the Lions, it's a very momentum-based offense, a very momentum-based team there with the Colts. But they get Sauce Gardner. How about the Cowboys in hilarious moves? I mean, yes, defense was the problem for them. So yes, they addressed the elephant in the room. But what's the Cowboys' record again?
Who's the defender they got from Green Bay for during the Micah trade?
Oh man, shareholders are just screaming right now. I know who you're talking about. It just
Kenny
Clark.
Clark.
Yeah, there you go. We were gonna get there eventually.
Yeah, so now they got both of those guys.
Yeah. Right in the middle, you got Kenny Clark and Q Williams.
Well, hopefully they can now stop the run. I mean, my goodness. But I don't know the situations on Williams or Logan Wilson there. Are they due for a contract? Do the boys now have to pay them?
That's a good point. I don't know about Quinnen because I know that
Sauce got a big one.
Sauce. I know, like in the other side of the trade with the Colts, Sauce just got a deal like this past summer, I believe. I don't know about Quinnen Williams' situation.
Let me take a quick peek see.
Yeah, take a peek see. Look at Over the Cap or Spotrac. Look at those sources. And I'm not sure about Logan. What's that?
I'll pick my own sources.
All right, fair enough. Do your own research kind of guy. But man, did Deron Bland get cooked by Maserati Marv on Monday night? That was bad. But that was kind of your big news in the trade deadlines. Colts making the move to get Sauce for 2 first-rounders, which is just insane. That was what floored me the most about that trade. 2 first-rounders for a talent, obviously, such as Sauce, of course. But, man, 2 first-rounders at this point in the year, that's a lot.
Looks like he signed a 4-year extension with the Jets in 23 through the end of the 27 season. So he'll be a free agent come 2028. 4 years, $96 million. Ooh.
I can already see the Jerry Jones, Quinnen Williams debacle a couple years from now. Quinnen's gonna want money. Jerry's not gonna want to spend it.
Yeah, I mean it's
Micah round 2.
It's too easy to predict. That's sticky baloney is what we call it in the biz.
Absolutely. Man, do you want to talk about our boy AB? What a fall from grace.
Can we get the picture? Can we get the picture for the shareholders?
Yes, of course. We will throw up the picture for the TikTok, but maybe we should give a little brief history beforehand. What do you say?
Oh, do you have a monologue of AB
No,
ready?
sure don't, but I did read his Wikipedia just a few minutes ago.
Let give it to us. Give it to us all.
So obviously spent his time, CMU, fire up chips, had a great time there.
Let's
Drafted,
go.
yep, him and Dan Lefevre, connection made in heaven. Gets drafted in the 6th round, goes to the Steelers, minimal playing time, comes in, kick return, first touch of an NFL football touchdown. Works his way back into the lineup and has some stellar years with Ben Roethlisberger and the Killer Bees, Le'Veon Bell. It's just a beautiful thing. He's on his way to a Hall of Fame career, no doubt. Then the perfect hit. Have you read up on the conspiracy? Not so much as conspiracy theory, I guess just a theory about the perfect hit that he sustained against the Bengals in 2016.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much reading or just video watching you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, coming across the middle, we all remember the hit. Just a nasty hit. Perfect was, I mean, that was his MO. That's what he did to everybody. He was out for blood every time and just absolutely knocked Antonio out. And that was in, I believe, the wild card round of the 2016 NFL playoffs. And he's never been the same since, is what people say. That's really when it started. And, can you blame it on the CTE? Perhaps.
Can you blame it on the alcohol, baby?
You might be able to. You might be able to. And, a lot of people saying, okay, nobody's saying it but me. However, right around that same time, 2017, this picture was taken. So do we think that perhaps this moment here, maybe that's the fall off. Maybe it's not the CTE. Maybe it's not the perfect hit. Maybe it's when you start making appearances at Encore the nightclub in Mount Pleasant, Michigan for $10,000. Maybe that's when you know you're not in a good place.
Were you wearing lipstick?
Me or him?
You.
Oh, come on. You know those club lights. You've been in Encore. You know what that's all about. You know that floor's sticky and the lights are strong.
Oh man, that chain! I'm surprised you didn't try to yank that thing off him.
Oh my God. I believe this picture was taken about 1 a.m. So that would have been
That's a
not
good
off
decision.
the bingo card at that point for me in those days.
No.
Barstar Ben was all over the place.
You knew if he was taking that chain, he was selling it to get some Jimmy Johns. That's for sure.
It's
The old
funny you say
Turkey
that.
Tom.
It's funny you say that because none other than 2 hours. Actually, no, not Jimmy John's. That was a Dog Central night. I correct myself.
Mm,
Got
mm.
got mac and cheese all over that hoodie that I'm wearing.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it's yellow hoodie, so it blended right in. Not a problem. Not a problem.
Is that
But
what they told you?
that's what I told myself at 3 a.m. All right. Well, that's your little history lesson. He makes that appearance at Encore. I believe he was at the game with the CMU game earlier that day. And
Makes sense.
I think it was right around the time he donated the heated benches to the CMU football program.
Are you blaming that on the CTE as well?
No, I think that's maybe the one good thing that he's done.
Okay. Well, you don't know all of the things he's donated. Okay.
Well, $100,000, and he hasn't paid a lot of people either. He's been known not to pay people.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
ee.
Yeah, not good,
Now
not
he's
good.
wanted for murder.
Wanted for murder. What is the word? Extradited?
Yeah, from Dubai.
What the hell is he doing in Dubai?
Yeah, I mean, the last time he was in Dubai, he was naked in a pool.
And then he made it his profile picture.
Yeah, it was a wild move.
Yeah, he's gone fully off the rails. Him and Le'Veon both have gone off the rails, but even more so, AB, just an all-time fall from grace. Of course, you fast forward past the 2017 year, had a couple more years with the Steelers, and then I believe the abuse allegations came out. He was suspended. Joined the Patriots at one point. That was brief. Then he started making fake text messages from Robert Kraft that weren't actually from Robert Kraft. Just a whole a totally a media firestorm from then on. Leaves, retires, comes back with the Bucks, joins Tom Brady for a couple games, wins a Super Bowl with Brady in the COVID year, Then he dips. He gets upset with Brady. He was living with Brady at one point. I mean, this dude's been all over the place. And then walks off. Next thing you know, he's walking off the field in MetLife Stadium. They're playing the Jets. He's got his pads off. He's running to the locker room, and that's the last time AB ever hits the field.
That is a crazy surmise.
And that's not even all of it. There's so many things in there. I mean, he was doing Instagram lives where he was like, he was doing bad things.
I think you're right. The night he met you is probably when it all started to go down.
I think a lot of people probably said that too.
No,
No. I'm just playing. You know, self-deprecation, humor, funny. But this isn't about me. This is not about me. This is about AB. And man, I hope he gets some help. You know, he may never see the light of day again. But dude is fully off the rails. I think on the Pivot podcast, he said, "I'm not broken, but I'm fractured." And I think he's broken.
Maybe he could,
but
use
he's
the
definitely
military.
right. You're calling for military for a 37-year-old. Can you believe
just
that
a
he's
little
37?
structure, you know?
Yeah.
Keep
Maybe he
those
should go
numbers
back.
tight.
Yeah, maybe he should go back with Butch Jones and Brian Kelly. I think Brian Kelly's looking for things to do, so maybe Brian Kelly can straighten him up.
Yeah, maybe he can be the wide receivers coach for Brian Kelly. Actually, there's probably no way he passes a background check for a college school.
Or anything. He might have to do the Teddy Bridgewater route and go to a high school, maybe Miami-Dade County, back to where he's from. Perhaps would take him. I don't know.
High schools run background checks. Attempted murder.
Attempted. Allegedly. Allegedly, Mitch Not Here is in first place in the pigskin spin.
Allegedly.
Not here, so we're not sure. Maybe on the socials we'll put this in, we'll implement it, but you know what? We're here. So what do you say? Should we do it?
I'm number one today.
Mufasa, not to be found. Papa B, 9-6. Myself, 6-9. Nice. And now, time for the pigskin spin. Pigskin spin for week 10 of picking random NFL matchups on the fly. I should get the wheel up ahead of time.
Show me the wheel.
No Halloween theme this week, of course. That holiday long gone, of course. But we do have the color scheme. The beach ball is back. And yeah, we've got a Berlin game this week, by the way. One more international, or a couple more international games after a break here. I suppose this is my spin.
Let's get it.
Oh, wow. Three really good matchups piled in there with Eagles, Packers Monday night, Steelers, Chargers Sunday night. Both of those I think are going to be good games. And then myself gets the third of those options, which is Rams 49ers, which I think is also a really good matchup. This one was a Thursday night, a rematch of a Thursday night matchup from earlier in the season. Maybe it was week 4. I don't know. Believe this game went right down the wire, perhaps even went to overtime. Maybe misspeaking there, but a crazy game nonetheless with the 49ers. Mac Jones in this one. The last time these two met. I think the Rams are a really good team. I think the 49ers are a good team. I think this is a 50-50 matchup. However, Rams got beat by the 49ers earlier this season. I don't see the Rams losing twice to the 49ers. They know how much this game means. Who wants it more type of game, and I think the Rams eke out a W.
Beautiful, beautiful. Can I ask you a question?
I suppose.
What is wrong with Brock Purdy?
I don't know. Are you telling me he's not playing in this one? We don't do our homework before these. That's why these random matchups are so beautiful.
Is he not playing? You just said it's Mac Jones, so I assume.
Oh, no, sorry. I may have, context may have messed that up for me, which typically I do talk in circles. So what I was saying is the last time these two teams met earlier this season, Mac Jones was the quarterback, and he willed his team to a victory there.
Okay, fair enough. I was about to say, like, are they hiding him now? Like, where did he go? Good pick though.
Thank
I
you.
think I'm with you. I'd take the Rams here.
Thank you. Ride with me, friend. 49ers set to make their decision on Friday. They have not named a starter for this one. Could be Mac Jones. Could be Brock Purdy's back this week. We'll see.
Would that change anything for you?
Nope. Still taking the Rams, regardless.
Great call. Great.
Thank you. Appreciate you, sir. Here you go.
Ew.
Ooh, I love this. Two great match. Honestly, a lot of really good matchups this week in the NFL. I think this is going to be a great week with week 10.
The Pat Riots. Man, it's in Tampa Bay.
Bucks off of a bye.
Tampa Baker off a bye. I think just because of those words alone, they gotta sway me. I think the Patriots had a lot of things go their way. I think Hunter Henry for my fantasy team is gonna have a great day, but ultimately their team's gonna fall just short. And the Bucks get it right again.
Let's go. I love it. I am right there with you. I would have taken the Bucks as well. I think you're right. It's going to be a great game. Like I said, a lot of good matchups this week. Steelers, Chargers, Sunday night. Eagles, Packers, Monday night. Raiders, Broncos taking place right now as we record. That's not a good matchup. But Ravens, Vikings, I think could be good too. Browns, Jets could be a stinky but really good matchup. I think there's going to be a lot of fun this week, and with the lines in the 425 window, going to be able to take in a lot of these 1 o'clock games.
Do the Cardinals get to play again?
No, they've been relegated. No,
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. They haven't been. They're not that bad. The Cardinals are actually really good, but that division is so good. NFC West.
Really good?
Oh, the NFC West, I think, is the best division in football.
Cardinals specifically, you think are really good?
Oh no, just good, just decent. No, they're not
decent.
good. They're decent. They can with Brissett. I mean, Brissett's been leading them pretty good, must say.
I think I'd take Brown Muddy Water over the Cardinals.
I think their downfall is that they're in a division with the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks, who have all looked really, really good.
Okay, what division would they thrive in?
NFC South.
For the listeners who don't know divisions like that, who's in that?
Bucks, Panthers, Saints. Bucks, Panthers, Saints, Falcons. Almost caught myself there.
You think they're beating the Bucks?
I think if the Bucks and the Cardinals played 10 times, I think the Bucks would win 7. Cardinals would win 3 of them.
About that?
Yeah, I'm sure, buddy. I think the Cardinals are better than people think. They just don't get a lot of love out there on the West Coast. And like I said, in the NFC West, which is so hot, I think they get buried out there.
Ain't no sunshine when
By the way,
she's gone.
In old time when she's away. Speaking of which, Andrew, Black Hole fan, Raiders up 7-0, knocking on the door to score one more time. They're on the 4-yard line. They could be up 14-0.
That's what I'm talking about.
Who saw that coming?
The
Raiders. The Broncos are just such a weird team. Like, I don't know. I
love
just don't.
corners.
That's what I mean. Like, they might be better suited down 14-0. They might thrive on that.
Dude, they are playoff upset boys. Like, they are primed to upset a really good team in the playoffs.
Are they the team you don't want to play?
I think so. I think they're the team you don't want to play close in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely not. Because similar to like the Vikings last year, just one score wins,
Yeah.
and then playoff comes around and then exposed. So I think it could go that way too.
Yeah, that's a great call. That is a great call.
Okay. It's gotta share the screen for the wild card edition now.
I didn't know if we were doing it. I was worried.
Oh, don't be worried. Don't be worried, my friend. This one's yours then, friendo.
Bring it on.
Please give us the color matchup. Ooh, gotta pick the closest spread of the week, my friend.
Give me some spreads. Give me some spreads.
Jacksonville at Houston. 1.5 is your tightest spread of the week. And also, correct myself here, correction, Eagles, Packers, also 1.5. Those are your two closest spreads. So which one do you want to pick between those two?
Eagles, Packers, Jags, Texans.
And maybe Cardinals, Seahawks. That one doesn't have a line.
And what is no gambling allowed?
I'm not sure. There's probably a story. Mitch would probably know. I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
okay because you just had to stop at one. Give me the Jags over Houston. Houston's a team I don't believe in. I don't think they have CJ Stroud this week. I think that pretty boy Trevor Lawrence, T Law as we call him, gets it done.
Noise. Noise. I like that. I like that for a lot of reasons. Update,
No
by
Travis
the way.
Hunter here.
What does that mean? Does it matter though?
No, I think he's a liability.
So what happened with the Raiders here? The Broncos all of a sudden have the ball now. Did they go for it on fourth down and not get it?
Yeah, Gino probably threw it into a defender's hands again. Isn't
Maybe.
that crazy? That's how their game ended last week.
Yeah, it is crazy. That one's still seared into my mind. All right, my turn on the wacky wheel here. What am I gonna get? Oh, I gotta go back from the dead. I gotta pick a losing record.
Oh, woo! Is it a losing record or a team coming off a loss? I see losing record in parentheses to shareholders. Keep it to yourselves.
Caught yourself there, didn't you? Well, I would have taken the Raiders over the Broncos, duh, but that one's already taking place. So, teams with a losing record could take the Falcons over the Colts, could take the Giants. Oh, God, take the Giants over the Bears. That one's
You're going to
tempting.
Colts for 2 losses, huh?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Ooh.
Baltimore over Minnesota. I may take Baltimore over Minnesota here.
I think Baltimore is about to go on a tear. I could see that.
Yeah, who'd you hear that from? Oh, I could take either one of the Browns or the Jets. I'm tempted to take Aaron Glenn here, but
They just shipped off their entire defense.
that's okay. That's okay. They're going to be hungry. Could also take either one of. No, actually, the Panthers have a winning record.
You saying those guys get paid to play football too?
You guys are getting paid? Boy, I don't have a lot of options here other than the Browns over the Jets or the Baltimore Ravens over the Vikings or the Vikings over the Ravens or the Dolphins over the Bills or that's a lot of worse. I'm going to take the Ravens over the Vikings. Take the Ravens over the Vikings.
Ooh, Poe Dameron, let's go, baby.
But I also like the Giants as a runner-up. The Giants over the Bears, and I like the Jets over the Browns. I think both of those have chances. I think of those three teams, the Ravens, the Jets, and the Bears, I think 2 out of 3 of those teams win. I just don't know which 2.
Fair enough. Ravens. Ravens.
Ravens on the road there in Minnesota. Cleveland on the road. New York's the home team there.
Oh, Ben, you picked the Ravens. I didn't even tell you that. I didn't know. I'm sorry. It's on the road. It's in a bird killer stadium.
And it's purple on purple crime.
It's a bird killer stadium.
Oh, that one went right over my head.
Are you nervous?
No, not nervous.
You gotta respect confidence here.
Yep. I feel strongly about the Ravens here in Week 10. Well, that's our show. Shareholders, thank you for being here. Mitch, we miss you. We'll have you back on Sunday. Thank you, shareholders, for being here. Become a shareholder today. If you're not already, what the heck are you doing? Watch us on YouTube, like, follow, and rate us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on TikTok and Instagram. We'll be back Sunday night following the 425 matchup between the Lions and the Commanders. Until then, thanks for being here, shareholders. Let's go, Lions. We need a bounce back bad. Must-win stamp.
Me? How?